Hi there! In this video, we're going to take a look at all the different levels of government there are in Belgium, and we're going to find out if there are really 6 parliaments and governments in Belgium or not. Who knows? The comments are disabled in this video because people get really, angry when talking about politics and we want to keep this channel a bit of a good place. Alright, so we're going to start from the lowest levels. We're going to start with the gemeente. And the gemeente, how could you translate it in English? Well, you would say it's the municipality. So that's a bit the bridge between the citizens and the government, and you could go there for local things. For example, when you're renewing your ID card, you would typically go to the gemeente, or for other administrative documents that are local, you would go there. Or for example, if you have to renovate your house and you need the right papers, then you would go there. Or for garbage bags you need to buy, this is something that's typically decided on the local level, on the gemeente level. And the boss of the gemeente is the burgemeester, the mayor. There are about 600 gemeentes in Belgium. If you go one level up, we're going to the provincies. And what are the provincies? These are the provinces. There are 10 of them in Belgium, and they're not that powerful. Mostly they help the other levels of governments to coordinate certain things, but they are responsible, for example, for the natural reserves. That's typically what I would be thinking of when I'm thinking of the provincies. The boss of the provincie is the gouverneur. If we go one level up, we're going to find 2 levels of government, the gewesten and the gemeenschappen. Let's first take a look at the gewesten. The gewesten, you could translate it best as the region. There are 3 of them, so that's het Vlaamse gewest, het Waalse gewest and het Brussels hoofdstedelijk gewest. So that's Brussels. So you have in the north Flanders and Brussels in there, but gewest is just Brussels. And then in the south there's the het Waalse gewest. So yeah, that's where mostly French-speaking people are. And what does this gewest do? Well, het gewest is doing all the regional things, and of course you can interpret it in many ways, because some people will think, this you should do by the gemeente, and this you should do by het gewest, and this by another government, of course. But well, it's a political debate, it's an ongoing debate of who should do what, but het gewest does the regional things, for example, the public transport or the drainage in your house. That's something that the gewest would do. And well, it's a little bit funny because there are many public transport companies, and they're organized by gewest. So for example, the bus company in Flanders would have a different name than the one in Wallonia, and in Brussels it would also be a different company. Well, but that's Belgium. All right. So I said there was gewest and gemeenschappen. What is een gemeenschap? Well, that's a community, and there are 3 of them. So de Vlaamse gemeenschap, de Franstalige gemeenschap, and de Duitsstalige gemeenschap. So that's the Flemish community, the French-speaking community, and the German-speaking community, because there are also some people in the far east of Belgium, that speak German. This was actually given by Germany, that territory, after the First World War, as a way to compensate Belgium for its losses. So there are Belgians since 1918, but that's a little bit of history. All right, so who's on top of this Vlaamse, all these gemeenschappen? Well, that's the minister-president. And there are also minister-presidenten voor de gewesten. And what do die gemeenschappen do? Well, everything that's culturally. For example, museums. That would be typically something that the gemeenschappen do. And education. The education is organized by gemeenschap. So, you may ask, well, in Brussels, is it the Dutch or the French-speaking gemeenschap? Well, in Dutch there are both. So you can find Dutch-speaking schools and French-speaking schools in Brussels. So people can choose which one they want. On top of these gemeenschappen and gewesten is de federale regering, the federal government, with de eerste minister, the first minister, as the boss of the federale regering. And what does the federale regering do? Well, things that are in the interest of the whole country, for example, foreign affairs, defense, and taxes. You get your request to fill in your taxes by the federal government. All right. So, and there's only one of those. So you have the 600 gemeentes, die 10 provincies, 3 gewesten, 3 gemeenschappen, and 1 federale regering. And you will be like, well, 6 governments. Where do these 6 governments come from? Because you have the three gewesten and the 3 gemeenschappen. These form 6, right? And then on top of that, the federale regering, that makes 7. And that is correct because the Flemish gemeenschap and gewest are put together. They only have 1 parliament and 1 government for both the Vlaamse gemeenschap and het Vlaamse gewest. All right. So that's why there are 6 governments and 6 parliaments. But we also have the European Union in Belgium, and that's like on the international level. But still, the European Union also has a parliament, so you could say there are 7 parliaments in Belgium. If you're interested in the European Union, I made a course about that. You can find it in the links below on how it works. That doesn't have much to do with the way Belgium works. If you're also looking for all the different ways to say government in Dutch, feel free to click the video you see there. And maybe see you there. Tot ziens.